Hi people of Reddit, what's something the internet killed that you miss? Just going over to your friend's house or the park unannounced to see if they were there and hang out. I miss this, when you had to physically go hunt your friend down and link all the clues you had together. Like, well, her mom said she left for the corner store like 10 minutes ago, but her bike is parked at the river so she probably took X path to get there and blah 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 until you found them, lol. Now if you try to do this, you just find out they're busy with something else, or they get weirded out like you're trying to stalk them. If you were exceedingly dumb or had terrible ideas, your reach was really only your direct circle of friends. Now idiots can broadcast their ideas across the planet with a click. The village idiots have gone global. My dad says he misses having arguments with friends which could only be resolved by phoning whoever was most knowledgeable on a subject, e.g. Did you know lightning travels upwards? No, it goes down. Let's phone your dad, he is a meteorologist. Like many people, I'm often nostalgic for the feeling of brick and mortar rental stores. I can't describe the joy I felt walking into a Blockbuster on a Friday night hoping the new movie I wanted to rent wasn't sold out, and getting overpriced movie snacks while waiting in line. One of my fondest memories was Halloween night when was like 8 and I begged my dad to let me watch the first Halloween. Since he always raved about it, we finally went to Blockbuster, but he warned me it's very possible it would be sold out. I waited in the car with my mom and he came out with a bunch of snacks giving us the thumbs up. I went fucking mental, haha. I miss when concerts didn't have a sea of people filming a video from their phone. Prince had a hard ban on phones. He would demand that they be turned off, and anyone caught using them in the venue would be bounced out. He was right. Jack White has it as well. America's Funny Videos. Yeah, the magic of that show was lost when you could just go into the internet to see funny videos. If you get it on tape, you could get it in cash. People being allowed to apologize for saying something stupid. Thanks Twitter. Mixtapes. If you never spent a week or longer making a mixtape and dropped it in your crush's locker, oh, you missed out. Something about the effort it takes to physically produce something like that, coupled with a rose and a handwritten note that says, I want to duck you someplace very uncomfortable, that drives chicks wild. Porn magazines being randomly discarded in public places. Finding one as teen was like an epic loot drop. High school reunions. There's no point to them anymore. I already know what you look like, who you're married to, what you do, basically everything. My social life. Being able to avoid spoilers for big movies. I am going to have to avoid the internet when the new Avengers movie comes out. I know, I've booked in maybe 4 days after it comes out and I'm scared Mayo. All my co-workers are talking about it. I am doomed. Big oof. Shame. People jump on and are just complete duckwords and never have to deal with the consequences. If people had to look someone in the face, they mostly wouldn't spout the shit that they do. The smell of a new CD booklet and finding hidden songs at the end of CDs. This going to sound weird to some people, but I think others can relate. I was a kid and teenager in the 90s and there were stories that no one knew for sure if they were true or not, but there was no way to fact check them. Example, Marlboro already has a plan if weed gets legalized. They'll come in a standard Marlboro design, but they'll be yellow instead of red and they're going to call them Marlboro Sunshines. It may sound goofy, but without being able to search it you had to choose whether or not to believe it. Think about it, spread it to others. Instead of pulling it up and ending it in a second, you could have a whole conversation marveling at the idea. Also, I find I second guess myself a lot more and end up googling things. Say I decide to do something that I've done once or a few times back in the day and I think I have done to do it again. Let's say changing a part on a car. Now instead of going with my gut and figuring it out remembering along the way, I know I can just Google it, and by doing so I cheat myself out of a much bigger feeling of accomplishment. Instead of doing it myself, I'm just following instructions. Video games released being complete and ready to play. It's a travesty I had to scroll solo to find this. A world where social media influencers did not exist. The OK sign. Realistic standards. Everyone can search up images and videos of very attractive people and those are the standard to which everyone else is compared to. My new phone has a beautify mode. Duck off. Edit. I mean the phone can duck off with its beauty mode. Map reading and people's ability to give or to follow directions from place to place. I know people who can't walk down the block without Google Maps. I really wish I were exaggerating, but I am not. Innocence. I used to think the world was basically a pretty good place. My assumption that the greater part of the human population is somewhat intelligent. Being able to travel and visit beautiful places before Instagram or social media in general, not only are the crowds exponentially larger at many of the photogenic spots, but travel secrets spread faster than viruses now. These places are overrun with people taking 1,000 selfies just to convince everyone else that they are living such an amazing life with their oversaturated filters. Club Penguin. Having a mental catalogue of great jokes that most people hadn't heard. It was much fun to drop a few at parties and get some laughs. I remember how people like that were always the best to have around. They were like joke wizards. Video game secrets. It was really cool hearing kids talk about, if you beat every person in a row without losing, you fight a secret boss in Street Fighter 2, and the only way you'd actually know for sure is if it happened in front of you, and being the first to spread news of secrets and Easter eggs among your group of friends. Now you can look up whatever you want to know and where to find any object in almost every game there is. I miss playground rumors and when games had genuine mystery. Did you know if you beat Metroid fast enough, Samus takes off all of her clothes? Phone books. Just kidding. Actually, I remember looking for my name in the phone book when I was young. Pretty pumped to see it there. My attention span. Example, watching an entire movie without looking at my phone to see Wikipedia, IMD, etc. Sitting at an event and participating in it, not buried on my phone. The addiction is real. My normal sleep schedule.